Hi, this is Alex of Atrocity Leaves Eyes, and you're watching The Age of Metal.
Hello everyone, this is Miguel with the H Metal, and I'm here in Tempe, Arizona with none other than Alex Krull. After 4 years of absence in the United States, we have Lip Size and Atrocity back in the States. Alex, to begin with these four shows in the tour so far, how has been the response of the people to the new songs and to the new material of Lip Size?
We are really happy, first of all, to be back. It was like 3 years or something, but whatever. We are back, and it's a pleasure for us to be back. It's an honor, and the show is going really nice so far. Great reactions. The feedbacks have been overwhelming, so people were waiting quite a while, and I know it's a kind of frustration for musician and fans, that when a tour was cancelled last time, and it was not our fault. We tried everything to make it happen, and then so we have this tour going really cool. I think the bands, they suit very good together. Actually, you have like on one side Leaves Eyes with the female-fronted symphonic metal vibe, and then you have Atrocity on that side. I would say more of the extreme metal type of music, and we got also symphonic elements on the Okkult album, for example, and somewhere in between is Moonspell. So I think it's really cool package.
All right. It's been almost since 2005, talking about specifically, this interview is going to be about Atrocity. Since you guys played like three shows with Atrocity in different festivals in the United States, because I was looking, it was no record of you guys ever played a full tour in the United States.
Yeah, that's right. The full tour, we never made it with Atrocity. It started already in the 90s, when there was a tour together with Death and planned with Death and Atrocity, and I think there was another band. But then we had a label changed, and it was not gonna happen. And then we had like several offers. Then we were playing years later. I think the metal fest in New Jersey, and then we had like this Milwaukee Metal Fest. I mean, not New Jersey, Milwaukee Metal Fest, and that was the original idea, that we could do a tour around that. I remember that as well, and we had Wacken coming up, so it wasn't possible. Whatever it was always something, and now as we have like this tour, we are really happy that we can do something in a row, not just a festival and go back home and stuff like that, of course.
What was the set of mind of at the time to bring Atrocity to the North American crowds? Because I mean, people know you a lot from Lip Size, but very few probably know you about Atrocity. Even though the Atrocity has been around since 1985.
Exactly.
So, what were your expectations of the crowd receptions of Atrocity?
First of all, I have to mention that we had like a really good start in America, USA, and Canada in general. Already with the first album, Hallucinations, we have been on Roadrunner. Then they signed us worldwide. But then we had a issue with the Blood album, and that was really, really bad luck. Everything was prepared, also touring wise, and actually a great setup. But then the distribution company went bankrupt. All those cities, thousands of cities, I remembered very good because at that time I was also at the record company at Massacre Records. We couldn't get a hold of the CDs anymore. They were just gone. It was, yeah, blown. And then for many, many years, we had actually both label and band to suffer from this situation. To come back in a lot of money was involved, a lot of lost money, let's say. So you could get the Atrocity albums via import or special shops, but then there was another distribution, but not very big, and there was nobody really uh, in there anymore to take a risk or something to build it up different. So first of all, that was something like a curse, and then I have to say a lot of people we know from the bands, have been in the tape trader scene, and all the musicians, they were always requesting, hey guys, why are you not coming over? Or is Atrocity still going on? We were constantly releasing stuff worldwide, and the US was the problem with the distribution situation. And we were like, just fuck, man, it can't be like that. People even doubting the band is going on. And we had like chart albums in Europe and stuff like that, like Work 80, and then all the clubs playing your music, and then you don't tour the US. What's that? Yeah. So a lot of people were waiting for a really long time for like a proper setup tour, and I saw some tears here and there already on the ship on 70,000 tons of metal. It's really good to see this, and the people following you for such a long time and supporting you still, although they might not have seen the band live so far. And I think nobody was disappointed now. Everybody was really into it, so really happy with the tour.
Well, I'm really excited about that because this is going to be my first Atrocity experience, definitely. I've seen Lip Size many times, but never Atrocity. And we know that, after 25 years, you guys been one of the pioneer bands of death metal, along with, bands like Carcass back in the day with Obituary. You have 8 albums under your belt. How difficult it gets to put a set list for a tour like this with all this, trying to bring this at the same time.
You're right. I mean, and then we did all this crazy stuff in between, like the experimental albums. People say like Gothic inspired or whatever. Actually, we made this. Yeah, exactly. So that's pretty hard to pick songs, of course. So we decided actually we will concentrate on the main focus is on the Okkult trilogy. So the start of the Okkult trilogy was now with the first album. So we play songs of that one and Atrocity classics from the, let's say, brutal history. So that's what we play. We don't have so much time, so today are like 5 bands on the bill or something, or even 6. I think 3 support bands. Oh yes, 6 bands even. So yeah, so we have to compress it a little bit. So there will be no Work 80 songs, and my sister's not here, of course, no songs with her, or all the other more experimental stuff we don't play. And actually, we decided from the start with the Okkult tour, we play only, let's say, the brutal side of the band. So yeah, I think that's a good decision. The dark, brutal side, let's say like that.
Well, Okkult is one of those albums that came out last year, really strong, really dark, really heavy. How has been the reaction of the people to seeing Atrocity back on that trail?
Yeah, I mean, if you have seen the DVD, I don't know.
Yes, I see.
You saw it, okay. There's actually the philosophy very clear of that band. So we never gave up our roots, and we never wanted to be any other band like we are. Like we know where our roots are. and we don't want to be misinterpreted in like, oh, they left their style and now they're doing this. No, we never left anything. It's just we take our musical freedom for ourselves, because I think metal has no limitations and should not have any borders. So we spread out the range of music, and probably we broke many borders no other bands in the metal genre was doing before, and no boundaries. And like an old Slayer song, evil has no boundaries. And that's something we wanted to do from the beginning, really, like to be a different band. So I think that works really good. And if you are familiar with the history of the band, you're not so surprised maybe, because we had also like a Calling the Rain mini album out. We did experimental stuff with Das Ich, and after that Willenskraft came out, which was also a brutal album. So that's just, like a director, I would say, compared it to this, or a good painter. You can make a very dark and mystical movie, or an action movie you can do, or you can make a fantasy movie. If you're a right artist, you're able to do this. So that's something I have great respect for in other genres. And like a painter, if he wants to have like a really scary, let's say, atmospheric picture, he would probably paint it different than a splatter and gore painting. That's something, with the band we have a visual concept or something in mind, and we do like the soundtrack for that. You know, that's it.
Well, definitely, Occult is, like you said, the soundtrack for something really brutal that is going to be divided in three parts.
Mhm.
But one thing that caught me attention when the tour was announced was like the sharing of Leaves Eyes and Atrocity, which is pretty much the same band but with Live.
Mhm.
How do you guys prepare to play night after night, almost the same four guys, and then
Yeah.
set after set? How is the set man? Do you guys take breaks? Do you guys sleep a lot? What is the preparation in order to play two shows in a row every night, almost every night?
It's quite demanding, of course, especially when we do the headlining thing. And now on this tour, Moonspell are headlining, so it's not so much demanding like when we do it like 2.5 hours. And it's another vibe with Lee Size. It's different music, and it makes it also very interesting. And it's like spicy food.
Like a little typhoon.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the thing is, if you're stuck in one style or doing only one type of music, you hardly can imagine to do something like that. But as we're doing always crazy stuff with Atrocity and a lot of variety within the band, so we can manage, we can handle that.
Well, definitely, and actually, that was my next question. Since 1985, Atrocity have done grindcore, death metal, gothic metal, and even semi-electronic stuff. What else is Atrocity carving to do next? What you guys are craving to do next? What you guys are trying to do next? Something different?
Yeah, it might. I mean, it's a good question. Uh, we now.
There's left to eat.
Yeah.
Right.
The thing is exactly. It has to be something which we like. We are into a new challenge or something we want to do. There's no force behind or something. Like the Rock 80s stuff. It was just a crazy idea. How would it be turning this 80s classics into atrocity metal songs like Shout, Wild Boys, all the kind of songs we turned into the atrocity style of music, and it was for us the biggest success so far. It was, yeah, and we also were like a little bit surprised that he got that acceptance. We played in Wacken in the late 90s, like I mentioned, I think 1999 or something like that. And you saw like people with Mayhem T-shirts and spikes, rivets, and Immortal, whatever, standing there saying, "Me an angel." you know, that's it's something unique, and also for a band like a metal band like us that we can do all this. Probably it's also something which was not like with if we would continue maybe one path, only one music style, then probably we could have been more successful, let's say. On the other side, I saw many other bands coming and going within the period the band is going on, because they were not so much into in that stuff they were doing, or maybe it was like a routine thing and then it was not exciting anymore. And that this is never going to happen to Atrocity, because we always do new stuff. So, but at the moment we concentrate really on the cool stuff, and then we go from there. We will see. It's a trilogy. It's really uh, a big project. Also the treasure hunt. Now we have like 6 countries already, where people have to go to find the bonus track on the 24 karat golden city, which is a unique one, the only bonus track, and the guy who finds it has a real treasure.
So you haven't finished yet.
No, the treasure hunt is not finished. It's not. Still have the chance to join the party. Um, it's going on, and for the second Okkult album, it will be hidden this one song for the second Okkult album in America, and the third one. The plan is to hide it somewhere else on another continent, probably in Asia. So we have like 3 albums and 3 continents, and people have to go and dig the song out somewhere. If I can get a little, if it's not known to you guys, just a little explanation. In the booklet we have hidden numbers, and if you turn the numbers into letters, you can create a song title. It's like a riddle. Then you can log in the Atrocity page, and then the treasure hunt starts. And I promise you, the places, the countries, awesome. Go and do the treasure hunt. It's a real adventure. If you have time for holidays or whatever, I probably I was there myself. I'm the only guy who knows where it is and the hints are. Um, I have to say it was for myself also really exciting. I like these occult places, and the mysteries of the world, and then you have the treasure hunt, and it really comes together in that in that way. I really like that.
All right. Atrocity comes from a time where death metal stars, and you share the stage with Carcass, early In Flames, Obituary. Will be any plans in the future to see that kind of tour? For example, a headlining tour or a co-headlining tour between Atrocity and Carcass, probably In Flames.
I mean, that's something we would of course do. I mean, In Flames is a very big band now. Carcass is a legend. It would be great to do something like that, of course. I mean, In Flames, they did their first tour with us. They were actually supporting us.
Yeah.
Imagine that. It was great, and the guys are awesome. And I actually organized together with the band the first Carcass tour together with Atrocity in Europe. And we made also around the tour 5 festivals, 3 in Germany and 1 in Paris in France and 1 in Belgium. And also in Tomb joined the bill. It was the first time, I think, for them to do something like that. And Punch and Stench, our friends from Philharmonic Orchestra as well. So it was really cool times and huge success. A lot of people appeared. And on the tour, like the regular tour, I would say, or call it like that, with Carcass and Atrocity only, it was something, nobody really wanted from the big promoters that time. So we had to do it ourselves. And we had like 2,000 people in Czech Republic. After this tour, suddenly, promoters came up. Oh, death metal. We can do some tours with that. Festivals. And I was very young. I was like 19, 20 years old. And maybe a little naive or something, because it blown up so big, and those agencies took over, and I was like, okay, no problem. They can, of course, the bands can go wherever they want, but it's always like that. It starts with the passion for the music, underground, and we were strongly connected to that, and especially a place in Germany, the Rock Fabrik in Ludwigsburg. It's like the first metal temple, like first rock club in Germany. It's still going. We were the house band, so we had some possibilities to do something like that, and they were supporting us too, and that was something it will always stick for us. And I made some festivals before and after, and but then you know I thought I'm the musician. I also joined the label afterwards and stuff like that. So I was not the booking agent.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, it would be incredible to see. I mean, a bill like that in the United States for us will be, amazing.
It would be amazing, Bill. Imagine In Flames, Carcass, and Atrocity. Wow, couldn't be better.
Now, in a no-metal related question, I know that you're from Germany. Obviously, a football fan.
Yes.
With the shadow of the World Cup coming up, you
Yep.
guys have you see the group that you guys have. You have Portugal, the guys from Municipal.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
in
we
the
spoke
United
about it.
States. You play in the
Yes,
United States
that's true.
and Ghana.
Yeah.
How do you see the German squad in the World Cup this year?
The thing is, we have a very strong team, and also our
Damn, you are.
yeah. Everybody speaks already about the final of Brazil against Germany. We are not there yet. They have to be very clever and strong, like they played now. It's a fantastic team. They have like probably on all positions like two or three players they could use. We had never had that situation in Germany, I think. And Bayern Munich, I'm Stuttgart, VfB Stuttgart fan, but they won 5 titles
Yes.
and like
Those
Champions
Champions
League,
League.
and they're world champion uh,
Clubs.
of the clubs exactly, and all that kind of stuff. They now winning many games of the Bundesliga season. They are number one, and actually I think 8 players are from the national team. Looks quite promising, also with the Dortmund players, and you have also guys from Schalke and so on, and they all playing on the top level. So yeah,
So you
looking
think will
forward.
be a easy group with Portugal?
No, that's no easy group. And the Americans, they have Klinsmann, and he's from Stuttgart. Very clever trainee, of course. Yeah, they you will probably be surprised how difficult it will be for all the teams. The temperature, the climate. There was no European ever winning a title in South America. First of all, and then you have on the other side this big pressure from the media. It will be not an easy task at all, but I have big hopes that they will manage it and finally bring back the title to Germany.
Well, let's see what happened in the United States Germany game. Should
Yeah.
be like
Something I'm
interesting.
also looking forward to. Be honest.
Now, closing up, how is the second part of the Okkult trilogy coming along? Do you guys have planning to release it anytime soon, or it's in process? What's going on with that?
It's actually in process. We also recorded one song before we went on which tour? Wait, on the UK tour or to the ship? Yeah, I'm confused. I think we recorded before we went to the UK because then we came home, Puerto Rico, 70K US. So we recorded something when we were home. So that's the first step. But we have a lot of ideas, also lyrical wise. Energy of the shows. We see how the songs work from the first album for us, and how is the energy with the audience and all that. So we will go from there.
Probably a day, probably 2015 then.
That would be a good plan. Yes.
All right, Alex, thank you very much for taking the time. Definitely a pleasure talking to you about Atrocity and, I mean, football and everything. Good luck with the rest of the tour, and definitely looking forward for tonight, the first Atrocity pretty much show in Tempe, Arizona. I mean, like ever.
Awesome. Yeah, we're looking forward as well, and see you guys on tour.